Hello YouTube and fellow Star Wars collectors! On this episode of Toys Are the Way, we'll be taking a look at another character from the fifth wave of vintage collection figures for 2024, May the Assassin from the Acolyte. Welcome back, gang. So once again, we have another new media figure, and we are seeing it shortly after a show has aired, which is fantastic. And whether you love it or hate it, Hasbro has delivered quite an astonishing figure, in my opinion. I've gotten this one out of the package and kind of interacted with it a little bit, and I've got to say, it's a top-notch figure, and Hasbro has done a remarkable job with this one. And while I was much more interested in seeing a lot of Jedi figures, from this show, which we are kind of getting, this one is definitely pretty awesome to get into the collection. So with all that being said and done, let's take a closer look at the packaging and figure. Taking a look at our classic vintage style packaging, we have the Star Wars and Acolyte logo prominently displayed up top, followed by May the Assassin on a turquoise name pill color. We have a fantastic image of the character here from the show, looking very assassin-like with that Kenner logo down below, and all things looking pretty decent on this card. Additionally, we have an all-new figure looking very good against that turquoise color, and I gotta say that this is definitely a very nice looking card back. On the back, she is VC 328 in the line, May Assassin, and we have a small description of the character, followed by the Vintage Collection logo, and additional images of the card and figure. So it's really nice to see one of the main villains added to the line shortly after a show has aired, and I gotta say that this is a pretty strong start to our Acolyte carded displays. Taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, I have got to say that Hasbro is doing a remarkable job when it comes to soft goods in the vintage collection. Just look at the way that hood looks. Phenomenal work there. If you take the hood down and take a closer look at the portrait, she's got some pretty good stuff going on there. And then if you remove the scarf, which is kind of, like a soft plastic piece that you're able to put back there, we can see the portrait itself, which looks pretty good here. I think it looks a little better than the OSHA one in my personal opinion. And yeah, they've done a pretty decent job here. Again, my only critique is maybe they could have added a little bit more of another paint application to the hair to kind of bring out some of that detail, because there is some pretty decent sculpting there. It's just, not coming to life for me. But for the most part, they've done a decent job with the portrait. It looks okay at a side profile. I think this one actually looks better straight on. Over here, not too bad, but overall, they've done a phenomenal job with the portrait. Taking a look at the figure's articulation, it comes with everything that we want to see in this scale nowadays. It comes with the new style barbell hips, a swivel at the thigh, ball jointed knees, rocker ankles, and a bunch of other points of articulation on the upper body. It even has a bit of a nice crunch here on that barbell system, which is really cool and will allow her to, do some pretty decent posing. She, of course, comes with two of those throwing daggers, which I would have liked to see more because, she did have quite a bit, and even her, kind of full deck of them. That would have been a cool accessory to see, but it's okay. I'm glad they at least, gave us accessories when it comes to this figure. Taking a closer look at some of the sculpting here, we've got that soft plastic material, which is actually not too bad. I'm always in favor of soft goods, but this one's been designed pretty well to where it doesn't get in the way of her articulation of doing, some pretty wide stances and stuff like that. So overall, when it comes to articulation, I think this figure is pretty awesome in my opinion. Now, we've got some great articulation in the arms, which is cool. Unfortunately, no hinge at the wrist. This is only a swivel, which kind of sucks in my opinion. But, I think we can do a little better in the future. Her head has some pretty good rotation to it as well. And yeah, overall, the figure has some really nice stuff to say about it. Great articulation and great sculpting on this. Not to mention, these soft goods are really nice, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, May is definitely a pretty solid addition to the line. Star Wars villains are a must for any collection or display, and sometimes Hasbro seems to forget that. But fortunately, May is a wonderful start to our Acolyte displays. Naturally, this assassin comes fully loaded with all the modern articulation we are now seeing with our brand new figures in the vintage collection. The new style barbell hips, rocker ankles, and ball jointed everything bring a fluid range of motion to this character, and despite the lack of soft goods on the lower body, the soft plastic skirt only hinders the figure ever so slightly. Furthermore, May does not have hinges at the wrist, a point of articulation that has been sadly missing on smaller female figures as of late. I strongly urge Hasbro to work with their factories to include hinges on all figures moving forward, as this point of articulation would be greatly appreciated and give the assassin the upper hand in battle, as killing a Jedi without a weapon is quite a task. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taken a look at this latest addition to the Vintage Collection, May the Assassin from the Acolyte. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.